record, this matter is before the court on the plaintiff father's motion for immediate return of a minor child, as well as plaintiff father's motion to modify custody and parenting time. This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. Present is attorney Hassad Hamad, representing the plaintiff father, Edward Kine. Mr. Kine appears to be present with Mr. Hamad. In addition, defendant mother, Shimane Johnson, appears to be present. Is the child been returned to father, Mr. Hamad?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where's the child at?
She is with my daughter while I'm doing this court hearing.
Well, until such time as there's an order entered by the court, it's week on, week off parenting time. You just can't unilaterally change parenting time. If you feel the child's in danger, you call protective services, call law enforcement. But absent that, the child needs to be returned to father.
I'm working with Child Protective Services as well as Hope Shores Alliances, their domestic violence coordination. And there's a lot of abuse going on in the home. I was living in the home with the father as well as the child, and the father has been abusive in front of the child towards me, as well as allowing sex offenders around the child still that are in the court order, previous court orders, to not be around the child.
I'm going to object to this testimony as it's not founded. And
right, Ms. Johnson, Mr. Walker, for the court, did your office receive any reports from protective services? Mr.
Oh, Your Honor, the front of the court has not received any recent reports.
Mr. Ahmad, has your client been contacted by protective services in the last 30 days?
No, Your Honor, their protective services are not involved in this case. This is a repeat of 2022 and 2023, the same type of allegations that Ms. Johnson does all the time. She contacted the FBI last time and said he was a sex trafficker. This is always the same rhetoric. And back in February, this court heard that Ms. Johnson had overdosed, and that's where there was drug testing that was supposed to be done by Ms. Johnson, that the parties got back together to try to keep the family together and raise this child from February of this year until July. And in July, when they had an argument, Ms. Johnson decided to just walk away again, take the child, and he hasn't seen the child for 30 days. And that's not acceptable. Not every time Ms. Johnson decides she wants to alienate this father from his daughter, she chooses to do so. He's 71 years old, guy works every day, hardworking man, has never done any drugs in his life, and he wanted to keep Ms. Johnson under his purview and his care to make sure that if she was using, at least he would have control of that when Essence was with him, this minor, and she's not in a dangerous situation. Now we don't know where this child is. We don't know what he believes, that there was a guy she met online that she actually went up north and she stayed with for two weeks with this minor child. I have no idea who this guy is. There might be drug use. We don't know if she currently is positive for any type of drug use. Last time she was using crack cocaine under his house when he reported it. So there's a big concern here. And again, she's using this sex trafficking again. Now it's domestic violence, but she never called the police. They never came out and said and arrested my client for domestic violence. This is all new stuff that now she's going to bring up to this court, and it's unacceptable. She can't continue to use this court to effectuate her fraud upon this court and keep continuing with these lies. It's just unacceptable.
Well, she's not using this court to do that. She's just on her own volition, is ignoring court orders, Mr. Ahmad. Ms. Johnson, the child needs to be returned to Mr. Kine today. Is there any reason why the child cannot be returned at noon today? Ms. Johnson,
all of these,
you must file court orders. I know you got a motion to change custody not set for before the referee tomorrow. Mr. Ahmad, are you aware there's a referee hearing tomorrow?
Your Honor, I would like that to be adjourned. The reason
not before this court, it's for the referee.
But I figured, oh, that's fine.
Mr. Kine can appear tomorrow at the referee hearing. Mr. Johnson, where's the child at right now? Is the child here in Monroe County?
No, she's in Westland, Michigan.
Okay, well, you're ordered to bring that child down to Monroe, or to return the child to Mr. Kine at noon today. Right now it's 10:15, so you got a couple of hours. So are you gonna bring the child back to Monroe? Where are you gonna meet?
Your Honor, I would like to have this session adjourned until I can
Ms.
get
Johnson,
some
we'll
type
give you
of
a date
legal.
to review this, but in the meantime, the child's gonna be with Dad. So what do you need, 2 weeks?
The
to get an
child is
attorney?
not safe with her father, and he also has a no occupancy permit listing on his home. The house is not safe there. I need legal help.
Your Honor,
And Ms.
again,
Johnson, you just lived in that home, did you not?
Yeah, and that's why we left put the order on there. City of Taylor has put the order on there on 7/19.
Okay, Mr.
July
Ahmad, you aware that
19th.
there's some, is the municipality vacating or?
no, the
Kind?
city's coming out for an inspection. The house is in fine care. There needs to be a renewal of a certificate of occupancy. It's not a condemned home. Actually, it's in very great shape, more than people live normally. And she lived there for a long time, and she knows that there's no problems with this home. So
There
this
is
is just,
very bad.
this is
Is there
another
a bed and bedroom
ploy.
for the child?
Yes, absolutely. There's
Right.
bedrooms.
Ms.
Inside
Johnson?
a garage.
CPS.
The
Ms.
the
Johnson.
bedroom is inside
Ms.
a garage.
Johnson.
The child,
Ms. Johnson, your order to return the child at noon today to Mr. Kind. Do you understand that? The only question is where are we
Yes.
gonna meet?
Your Honor, because he is currently here in Dearborn, Michigan, she doesn't need to drive to Monroe. If the child's in Westland, they can meet at the Dearborn Heights Police Station, and they can exchange the child at the Dearborn Heights Police Station inside, so this way there's no issues.
And Ms. Johnson, will that
I
work?
would like to state something for the
And we'll
record,
give you a date for
please.
review. We can come back in a couple weeks. You can come back with an attorney. But Ms. Johnson, can you meet at the
A false
Dearborn
ex parte
Heights
order
Police
to
Department
get
today?
custody is criminal.
Ms. Johnson, is it okay
Yes.
to meet at the Dearborn Heights Police Department today?
I would like to say one thing for the record. A false ex parte order to get custody is criminal, and criminal complaints on the judge who violates the law can also be in place. I would like you to send somebody out to his home to see that it is in the perfect condition that they say that it is in. Your Honor, I have been there. I've been through it. Mr. Kind is an abusive man. He has abused me in front of my child.
Right, that's why we're not gonna be contact. We're not gonna be contacted. Meet at the police department. Meet at the police department. So we're gonna put this over for a couple of weeks. You come back with an attorney and you're offering to
Just
take a
one
drug
more
test,
thing,
Ms.
Your Honor,
Johnson, is
and I'm
that
sorry
correct?
to interrupt.
Ms. Johnson, are you offering to take a drug test?
How are we to know that he's going? Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right, court will order, we're gonna put this over for a couple of weeks. The court's gonna order that Ms. Johnson return the child to Mr. Kind today at 12 noon at the Dearborn Heights Police Department. Do you know where that's located, Ms. Johnson?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, so meet there, and the child will remain with Mr. Kind till we come back. The child has been, the father's been denied the child since July 15th. Is that correct, Mr. Ahmad?
July 9th, that's
There's an
correct.
active
July
CPS case
15th.
that
So we're
is
gonna-
July 15th.
prohibiting
Right.
me from returning the child to the father.
That's not true. That's completely false.
Yes,
Ms.
it is.
Johnson,
I
Ms.
have
Johnson,
the
the court's made a
paperwork
decision.
with
We're gonna set this in order. We're gonna put a review date in a couple weeks. You need 2 weeks in which to get the drug test done, a hair follicle drug test.
No, I can do it right now, today.
Okay, good. But you need some time. You want to talk with an attorney, correct?
I do need to talk with an attorney, but I do not think that it is in the best interest of the child to be returned to her father while there's a sex offender that is on the property and there's numerous drug activities and criminal activities that are going on his property. Mr. Hamadi could say that it's untrue all he wants, but he's not there. He did not live there with the child. The child is in danger with her father.
So, Mr. Ahmad, any objection to the court ordering that no other parties can reside in that home till we come back?
Yeah. Does anybody reside? No. Yeah, that's fine, Your Honor.
All right, so the court will address that, Ms. Johnson. Again, the order is that you return the child to Mr. Kind today at 12 noon at the Dearborn Heights Police Department. Mr. Kind will have possession of the child until we come back to court in a couple weeks, which will give you a date in a mile. Ms. Johnson, you are to submit to a hair follicle test and provide the results to the court and to Mr. Ahmad when we come back, before we come back. And finally, the court will order that Mr. Kind not allow any other person to reside in the home till we come back, determine who's
That's
else
fine.
living in the home.
So once again,
And we
you're
have
going to
review dates.
place a child, a
August
3-year-old child
21st
with
at
a
9
sex
a.m.
offender.
Just a minute, Ms.
Once again,
Kind,
Your
Ms.
Honor,
Johnson. Mr. Ahmad, are you
You're placing a
available?
child, a 3-year-old little girl with a sex offender family of known
August
sexual
21st, 9:45, you
abuse
available, Mr.
to
Ahmad?
children in the family.
Yes, Your Honor. Is that in person or on Zoom?
Besides Zoom. So,
Okay,
Ms.
that works.
Johnson,
I'll be there. August 21st at
the
9:30.
court's review is August 21st. What time again? 9:45 a.m.
That's fine.
So, Ms. Johnson, make
So
sure the
you're
friend
putting
court
a
has a valid
child with a
address
sex
so we can
offender
mail
once
you a
again,
copy of
Your
this
Honor.
order. all your objections are noted, Ms. Johnson. Make sure the front of the court, when you're in the courthouse today, go down to the front of the court, make sure you have Mr. Walker as your correct mailing address, so a copy of this order is mailed to you. You want to be here August 21st at 9:45 a.m.
Your Honor, I also want to address if she's requesting an attorney and this court knows that there's a referee hearing tomorrow, it doesn't make sense that there's a hearing tomorrow when she's requesting an attorney.
It doesn't
Well,
make,
she
no, I would
filed
like
the
to go
motion
in
in
front of
pro per,
Jennifer
Mr. Ahmad.
Comrich.
So
All right.
the
Is that it?
referee may, in fact, put it over to, do you want to put everything over? Ms. Johnson, do you want to put your motion over before this court on August 21st at 9:45?
I would like to carry on with tomorrow being the day. I'm ready to go forward with this.
All right, all right. The referee, most likely, Mr. Ahmad, will adjourn the matter to this court's docket August 21st, but we'll see. She wants to keep it on, and that's her motion in pro per, so maybe Mr. Kine can appear. And,
Okay, are those
if you choose not to appear, and just inform the referee, the court ordered that the mother return the child to the father today at 12 noon. Hopefully that's happened. Ms. Johnson, you need to comply with this court's order. It's very critical. So follow this court's order.
Yes,
Make
Your
sure the
Honor,
child
and I think that you should comply with the safety of the well-being of the child. The best interest of the child is that is what you're supposed to be taking into consideration as a judge. That's your job. You're not doing that with my little girl.
Come back to the train August 21st, Ms. Johnson. No one has received any CPS reports.
As well as sex offenders in the home that live there.
Walker, any questions about the language of the order?